Hey everyone, Decius here with another video, and today I would love to talk about the upcoming game Monsters and Memories. It's a new MMORPG that is currently in development, and as I am recording this right now, there is a active playtest for the next few days. So I've had the opportunity to play a little bit, and I'm sure a lot of people that watch my content are probably adjacent with the development of this game, since I think a lot of people that are interested in Monsters and Memories are classic Everquest enjoyers and probably people who play on emulated servers, and maybe some more people. I'd hope a lot more people are interested in this game because it is really awesome. It has a very unique design that I really appreciate the developers in implementing, because it has a very retro feel to it, similar to classic Everquest, but it kind of embraces that style and adds more of a polish to it. And right now I'm playing on a level 4 Dwarf Paladin, Crystallos. And I've even joined a guild, Reign of Wrath, and there seems to be a lot of friendly people in it that just want to help out. And I really just want to talk about my first impressions of the game, and if this game is something that I would pursue in the future when it actually comes out later. I think it's supposed to come out early 2026, and it's going to have like a $15 a month subscription fee, but besides that, there's no additional base costs or anything to purchasing the game. And I really like that that is the system that the developers are going to go with for the financial model. Because I think, as we've all seen with Pantheon, it was $40 one-time purchase, and there really hasn't been a lot of updates since its initial release. And it's definitely a half-baked game, and I don't think it's even fully released yet. I think it's still in early access. It seems to be like an early access hell kind of game. Hey, they're taking my copper! And I think for Monsters and Memories, from what I've seen in the development, I believe most of the development for this game is live streamed, which is really cool and very transparent of them to be able to just freely express and show all the stages of how this game is made. I don't think you see that in a lot of games. I'm gonna kill this Dune Scarab quick just to show you guys a little bit of the combat in the game. And one thing I've really been enjoying most about this game, besides the fact that it really does have the essence of EverQuest, of the open world, you're in a group, you have your own key roles like pulling and tanking. It really feels like EverQuest when you're playing, and I don't think that's something, if you're looking for a game that feels like that EverQuest, it has that EverQuest feel to it, I think this game really does fulfill that while still preserving its own identity. Because I mean, we want to play these games not because it's an EverQuest clone, but because it has something new to bring to the table while still holding up the integrity of being an open world MMO where you have to rely on other people to accomplish things, and new gear and things actually matter, and it feels like a living and breathing world. I think that's just something that EverQuest has provided for so many years, and it's why we are so attracted to that kind of game, is because it really feels like that world where things actually matter and upgrades matter, and your time can actually be invested and withstand the test of time. And I can really see this game holding those same attributes in the future, because I think there is a really good foundation here with what we're working with. Just off the bat, in this starting zone, Night Harbor, just looking off into the distance, you can see that badass looking Necropolis castle like from Lord of the Rings. And I think that is such a cool way of showing where you could eventually end up if you keep playing the game and progressing, because it has the very early humble beginnings of this city is very much similar to Freeport. There's like snakes and rats and everything out front, but being able to see even farther ahead, and especially this giant mount with a castle from the starting zone of the game, I think that is such a cool, unique world design that the developers just implemented. And I think it really shows their artistic vision of having that hero's journey, no pun intended, and just having that progression and being able to visually see where you could end up eventually. I think that is so cool, and I'm really appreciative that they have that in the design. But one of the things I've been enjoying the most about this game so far is the trade skills and crafting your own gear. And there is a quest giver in this zone that lets you creates for you some scarab armor. And this is some really good starting armor for, it looks like pretty much any class can wear it, which is really cool to see. I didn't even realize that beast lords, druids, monks, paladins, pretty much every class can wear it. This quest requires you to, my cat's going crazy in the background, don't mind her. It requires you to kill some scarabs, loot their carapaces and their legs, and turn them into this quest giver. And in response to that, he'll give you armor for those pieces, and you need certain amounts of the carapaces and legs in order to receive the legs. And I think a really cool part of this game, I'm just gonna really be boasting and just talking about all the stuff I love about this game, because it's really gripped me right away, and I'm so appreciative that a lot of, wow, my cat's really going crazy right now. One sec, I'm gonna throw a little toy at her real quick. Not directly at her, but in her vicinity, so she has something to play with. So there isn't a quest log in this game. There is an interactions window, and this is like a chat window. And it has very similar mechanics in EverQuest to if you hail an NPC, they have dialogue and you respond. All of that is stored here. However, there technically is a journal, but what this journal is it's a compilation of all of the dialogue you've had with these characters. So it stores all of that quest log, that quest data, in a very cohesive, organized way. And I think that is just a beautiful way of keeping the integrity of needing to interact with NPCs and see what they have to say, and still preserve that while also retaining it in a journal so it's accessible, so you don't have to write it down physically or make an Excel spreadsheet and write down what you need to do. But it also isn't a complete World of Warcraft version of that where it's just a quest you accept, you decline. It has everything there. It has the reward. I think it's such a cool compromise, and it's kind of a modernization of that old school MMO aspect of not having direct quest logs, but still needing to interact. But it's all still stored in that journal. And I just thought that was a little example of how this game kind of makes those old school components more modern. And if you just look at this, if you just look at where I'm at right now, this is kind of the starting area of this zone. People are just chilling. People are hanging out. It really does feel like EverQuest in that sense of just being a living and breathing world where people are just chilling out and a part of guilds and giving buffs. That's another thing. There's buffs, there's Spirit of the Wolf, there's regen, there's haste. People are in out of character, advertising their buffs. And I just think that is such a cool thing. Just getting Spirit of the Wolf in a new game is just getting a Spirit of the Wolf in general in EverQuest is such a nice feeling. And that is literally something you can get in this game. So I really don't know what else to say about that. Like, it has those same buffs and mechanics that really make that MMO feel that EverQuest gives. And one thing I also want to talk about is you can do like any profession in this game. I don't think there's a limit to it per character. For example, in World of Warcraft, you need to only choose 2 at a time, which I think is kind of silly. But in this game, I started with blacksmithing and mining and also smelting because I wanted to make myself some plate armor. However, some of the ingredients required me to have leather straps in order to make some of the copper armor. With leather straps, I need to learn leatherworking, and I need to be able to create and craft those components. So I needed to get leatherworking and blacksmithing and mining and smelting in order to get the materials to actually ultimately create the armor. And I think it's nothing like groundbreaking or anything. It's not a revolutionary system at all, but it's just very satisfying and it's very straightforward. and it keeps me wanting to get more materials, wanting me to just level up my crafting to ultimately just make more gear and make gear that's actually relevant, and it's actually an upgrade. Uh, in my inventory, I've made the copper plate gauntlets, I've made the copper plate bracer so far, the copper plate cloak. It has really good AC, and I literally created it with the components that I mined. I mined this copper. I mined, yeah, the copper that I needed to actually create these pieces, and I needed to use leatherworking to make the straps in order to create them. So just really, really well-designed profession systems, and it's just cool to see other people doing that. Using the sword to blacksmith. It's a classic tool. Look at this guy. He looks sick. He's got his like plate armor. He's got his war hammer, his helmet. It really just makes me want to try out more classes and just see where everything goes. I have really been enjoying the simplicity of the combat. It's very similar to Everquest there. However, it does feel like I have more utility, and I think that's what Pantheon did well with, is that the classes had more of an identity versus in EverQuest, especially early game. A lot of classes like Paladin don't really get a lot of tools right away. You kind of have to level up a bit more to even get your first spells. I think level 9 is the first level to get spells. But just kind of starting out with a weak heal spell, a slam ability, taunt. I can even shoot a bow and arrow. Restorative Smite, which heals me and does damage, which that's a classic spell. It's a perfect Paladin ability. I really don't have a lot of bad things to say about this game. I think if I were to have some kind of constructive criticism for the game design, I just think that the optimization of the game itself could probably be optimized a little better. I do notice that my game gets a little choppy in these city zones, but that's very understandable because there's literally 416 people in this zone. So I don't think it's running too bad, and if I zone into like the zone attached to this one, it's kind of similar to North Row or Oasis in EverQuest. The performance is instantly better, so I don't even think that's too big of an issue. But I'm just excited to see where things go. I'm definitely going to be playing the game when it comes out, especially with the playtests. And I'm really excited to just make some videos talking about it too. I really want to spread the message and get this game a little bit more publicity. And if I can use my platform to do that, to get people who are apprehensive about playing the game or might not even know about it in the first place, to get a little bit of information about it and see a little bit of what it looks like. I'd love to be an instrument of spreading the word. And another shout out, I would love to shout out the classic EverQuest YouTuber channel. He has been doing a ton of Monsters and Memories videos. I'll try to remember to link his channel in the description if you're not already subscribed to him. But he's been making a lot of videos talking about some of the mechanics of the game and breaking down a little bit of the development of the game. And it's really cool to see him expand on just talking about Monsters and Memories a bit more, and it's something I definitely want to do as well. I think if you are immersed in the EverQuest community right now, it's kind of, there's been a lot of drama and a lot of division between the emulated servers, and I think it's something I don't really want to perpetuate anymore in my channel. I removed my last video talking about, Corm coming back because I really just don't want to add any more fuel to the fire. And I think talking about that right now is ironic because that's just bringing it up again. But I think Monsters and Memories is just such a fun experience, and I really don't have anything really bad to say about it. It's been a joy to play in, and just I found like one group so far, but really I've just been having fun doing the profession systems and just making some armor and just running around getting Spirit of the Wolf, trying to make some money. I got a cracked staff that sells for 5 silver, and 5 silver is actually like a lot of money early on in the game because I was struggling to even get 1 silver, and selling that for 5, like I felt like a millionaire. It was amazing. And I was able to finish off my Scarab set. and get more components for my copper. So anyways, I think I'm going to end the video there. If you've been playing on Monsters and Memories, I'd love to hear in the comments if you've been enjoying it, or if there's anything you'd like to see added or changed about the game. But besides that, I've just been having a great time playing on the game, running around on my little dwarf paladin. He looks kind of goofy, but I love it. So without further ado, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day or night or wherever you are on the planet. Take care, everyone. Peace.